Chelsea come from behind, losing 1-0 and 2-1 respectively to Luton Town in the FA Cup. Of course, on the night where Roman Abramovich announces he will sell Chelsea Football Club, there was a bit of muttering, a bit of stuttering, a little bit of indecision on the field of play. Chelsea had to work tremendously hard, very, very hard indeed, to turn that round by the full-time whistle. An excellent, excellent FA Cup tie. I think for neutrals, Luton will be proud of the way they performed. There's no doubt about it. Chelsea will feel they deserve to win over the balance of play, but of course, conceding 2 goals, losing it 2 times in the game to a championship team isn't where any of the top boys, any of the top 6 want to be in the Premier League. They don't want to be in that moment. But that's FA Cup football. That is what happens. We've seen it before, and I think we're certain to see it again sometime. As we know, it's a very bittersweet night in many ways for Chelsea fans. Sweet for getting the victory, sweet for bouncing back after losing to Liverpool at the weekend. But of course, Roman Abramovich will not be their owner at some point in the near future, with him confirming this afternoon that he will be selling. Chelsea Football Club in the very near future. So we know we've done a few videos on that over the course of today, but we are taking calls on this match review show. We want to hear from you. Champions of Europe, you're having a laugh, is what Man City fan here says. I do remember you having to bring the big boys off the bench once before to beat, was it Shrewsbury? And you only won 2-0 last night against Peterborough, who are bottom of the championship, mate. So glass houses and all that, brother. Glass houses and all that. Why are Arsenal fans laughing at us? I don't know what Arsenal fans are laughing at Chelsea. I don't know which ones. I suppose a lot of Arsenal fans are looking at Chelsea from the perspective of this means you won't surpass us. I think they're looking at that. I honestly do think that that's what they're looking at. You know, you will not surpass us because of this. I think what's going through a few of their minds is no doubt. Make sure those like buttons are being hit for us, please. Ref had a good game today. Also good to see Reece James is back. What was interesting today, no VAR made the game. I love VAR for a lot of reasons, but I have enjoyed these FA Cup games without it. The element of the game flows. You see the steel shot on the replay, and that's it. It's done. It's over. Old school in many, many ways. And the referee did allow the game to flow. So, yeah, very good game indeed. Champions of Europe, Man City will never sing that, is what C and the Act 24 has got to say. Beating Luton was tough for Chelsea today with a makeshift defence. Imagine not playing with a recognised centre-back in the Premier League and still getting top 4, is what Akash has got to say. One here says, dead banter. This year, the small clubs have given everyone a hard time, besides Liverpool, if I'm correct. Good game, gutted about Roman. Come on, you Blues, is what Juan CFC's got to say. Look, the championship teams have done very, very well indeed. And we have to be honest about Chelsea tonight. Their minds are elsewhere. There's no doubt that announcement this evening, the players will have known this afternoon. I know people that work for Chelsea, they found out this afternoon. It's a sad time for them. And I think it took them a little bit of time to blow the cobwebs out. They probably would have been okay if they hadn't have conceded after 2 minutes. Conceding after 2 minutes, almost, they scored the goal from Sao Niguez and they then dominated. And a mistake from Sarr allowed Luton back in again. But if you actually watch the game, Chelsea dominated for the large part. I didn't look at the statistics at all throughout that game. But what Chelsea had 17 attempts to their 5, 75% of the ball. Created in the game, 15 chances to their 4. Like, Chelsea were dominant. Yes, a scoreline would say scraped. Performance says brilliant. So it's interesting, you know what I mean? Sometimes people love stats. Sometimes they like the eye test and they see where they go from there. First on the show tonight with me is going to be Nathaniel. Nathaniel, of course, big Chelsea fan. What you saying, mate?
Yo, brilliant from the car. He's clutch, best striker in the world. I always backed him. It's funny that Chelsea fans, he's the best striker in the world. I'm sure you United fans are jealous that we have such a good striker up front. What's it called? Banner Boy Mount. I'm done with him, man. This guy is awful. Listen, Smith Rowe, Saka, I'll take them over Mount in a heartbeat. Banner Boy Mount gets away with everything because he's British, but listen, I'm done with Mount because
What was wrong
he's
with
so bad.
what was wrong with him tonight? He created more chances than anybody else on the pitch. What was wrong with him?
I mean, his final pass. He's a bit selfish. Even you saw in the Liverpool game, he cost us the game. He's selfish. Like he doesn't really care about any of other players around us. Like he just cares about himself. He's wasteful as well. Like what did he even do today? Created chances, but did he score? Did he get an assist? No. So at the end of the day,
He would have got an assist if the likes of Werner and Lukaku would have finished the chances he created for him.
I mean, Mount should have scored 2 chances against Liverpool, and he should have scored 1 today. But what's it called? Yeah, Mount's finished, man.
Mount
now that Roman's gone, now we might get a new owner in. Mount might get sold, man.
And assume you hope that he does.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I wonder what other Chelsea fans got. In terms of Roman going, like, what's your take on that matter?
It's sad to see. Jokes aside, it's sad to see. Roman was good for us. He made us basically, but we've got to move on. That's all we've got to do. We need to get like some good owner in that actually cares for us and that actually has money that we can spend. Because if we get a trash owner in and that we can't spend, then we're going to literally go down like. Look at Leeds. We're going to go down like Leeds. We're going to be trash, but hopefully we get a good owner. We can spend money.
We'll see. Nathaniel, thanks for calling in, mate, and having your say. Really appreciate it. Viewers, if you agree, disagree with Nathaniel, give us a call. The link's in the live comment section now. Uncertainty looming, but we rise. Come on, you Blues. I think that's what's key here. It's the uncertainty is there, but look, when you say a good owner that's going to spend money, people have to remember that Roman's only been pumping in about £20 million of his own money since FFP came in. So you don't need an owner that's going to do what he did in the first instance. There's no doubt. What's Nathaniel on, and is he willing to share? Yeah, I don't know what Nathaniel's on. Like, again, I watched Mason Mount. There was that one cross, I think, that nearly went out the stadium. But I thought it was very good tonight. You know, the equaliser came from, you know, ironically, Werner gets an assist for that first goal, the first equaliser, from miscontrolling the ball, but all the work was done by Mount. But that's where I test people don't want to follow the eye test. They want to follow the statistics. Flawless is on the show now. What are you saying, buddy? Flawless, you there? If you're speaking, we can't hear you, brother. Try coming back again. Zion is here now. What are you saying, mate?
You're right, Terry.
I'm very well, my friend. Give me your thoughts on the game, but also the wider points today, of course, with Roman Abramovich.
Let me talk about the game first. It was one of those sticky type of games where you go away to a championship team. You know, hostile environment. Let's be real. You know, their fans are going to be up for it. Our fans will be up for it as well, but we won't have the advantage, you know, as they will. So, in my opinion, it was a tough ground to go to. You know, to be honest, Luton doing well in the championship, so you got to give them credit for that. And you're right, every championship team in the FA Cup has been, you know, giving everything. You know what I mean? So it's a cup they can win. And you know, Middlesbrough beat Tottenham yesterday, which was in my opinion brilliant. And then we almost got knocked out, but individual brilliance, you know, got us out the game. Let's be real. We had the quality. They didn't have the quality. They ran out of legs, I think, in that second half near the end. So, yeah, it was a performance we needed, and we needed to win today, you know, after that performance against Liverpool in the final. So we move on. I mean, we go through to the next round, but it ain't going to get easier from now on. Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, the next round, I mean, we'll see what the draw, when is the draw? Is the draw tonight?
I think it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be intriguing to see who everybody gets. That's going to be where the real important element comes in, because it's, you know, if you guys could grab a Middlesbrough, Southampton, whatever else, like that's all good. But it's one of those things, as you say, where
It's
you know
it's
you,
like
you,
it's
you, you
it's like
you
one of
don't.
those smaller teams you don't want to get. You don't want to get someone like a Middlesbrough because some of those teams, like even a Southampton, they'll be up for it. Chelsea will probably be too confident going into that game, saying, "Oh, we'll scroll past them. It'll be
I
easy."
hear that. I hear that.
But it's those type of teams that give you a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Luton gave us trouble.
In terms of the wider news today, of course, about Roman leaving, like, what's your take on everything surrounding that?
I mean, I don't know what to say. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I wasn't, expecting this. I was expecting this. This was going to happen because, let's be real. Where that statement he brought out just before the Carabao Cup final, in my opinion, I think it was a disgrace. As a Chelsea fan, I felt disgusted. He did not mention once about Ukraine. He did not mention about what's happening there. Everything that all he cared about at that time was, about the club. And you know what? Fair play to him. That's all right. But you've got to at least mention, in my opinion, about what's happened, in Ukraine. Innocent people are dying. Kids, dying. You got, loads of people. It's just, it's horrible. And then this second statement, in my opinion, is slightly better because he's obviously mentioned Ukraine and what's going to happen, obviously with his the profit and everything like that. But it was expected. Let's be real. I mean, he had to either sell or because obviously with the sanctions looming over his head. This wasn't going to end, on a well note. Let's be real. So whatever happens. We just got to keep focusing on our football, not get this distracted. Obviously, we'll be on everyone's mind. Let's be real. We'll be on the players' mind, Tuchel's mind, the coaching staff, the employees, everyone. They'll be thinking about this, but you cannot let this distract you now, especially this part of the season when top four is crucial. Champions League, good run in the Champions League is crucial. If we lose our minds right now, this can go all down and it could crumble down big time. We can miss out on Champions League football. We can get knocked out of the Champions League, So, in my opinion, we got to keep our heads right, focus on the task ahead, and think about it in the summer when everything's, at bay.
Listen, Zion, good points being raised there, mate. Thanks for sharing what you think with us. And we'll chat to you again soon, bro. Thank you very much indeed. We have some super chats here that came in. Alex on the show next. It says, you can tell people who spend all their time on Twitter on specific agendas on players, especially from Nathaniel. All he said was points from the other people on Twitter Spaces, laughing my ass off. I think for yourself. Lamin here says, Chelsea thrive in chaos. Don't be surprised if we win the Champions League, is what Lamin thinks. Pre here says, I'm a Chelsea fan from India. We have a billionaire who owes our banks $1 billion, but he is saying staying freely in the UK. I hope we get an owner who cares. And look, that's what Roman is looking for and he's searching for. And, for Chelsea fans, that is obviously going to be the most important thing from a club standpoint from now moving forward. Alex is here with us now. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not bad, thank you. Firstly, performance tonight. Give me your take.
Well, Robin Loftus-Cheek was playing center back, so you know what I'm saying. So, I think we did what we have to do to play in this game, because with the injuries in the center back and with Thiago Silva being grandpa on the field and all that kind of stuff, you have to rotate. And Jorginho running this as fast as my grandma. But what I'm saying is we need to do some stuff to survive this particular game. And I think we did it. Individual mistakes from the youngsters, that's common. I just think that what I liked about today's game, I saw some players playing in different positions and they did actually pretty well. So, which was actually good. Plus, Lukaku and Timo Werner played well together. That's kind of like that's the game that you try something that you usually don't try. You know what I'm saying? So I think he did well actually. But
absolutely, and look, it's one of those games expected to win. It was tougher than you maybe thought, but you got there.
Yeah, showed character too.
Yeah, it did show character tonight. In terms of Roman, what's your feeling towards him going?
Well, previous call, I'll address the previous caller. If you don't think starting charity and actually being in Minsk during the first part of a negotiation, physically present in Minsk to negotiate the first peace break after the war started, if you don't think he's involved, maybe read a book on your life. Then another thing is like the way he handled it. It's only one statement. It wasn't two statements. He didn't make two statements, as far as I know. It's only one statement where he said what he had to do, and at the end of that statement, he made it what he said. He started a charity for the people of Ukraine. What do you want him to do? Like, I don't understand what the guy wants from him to be done.
I think people are asking for Roman to condemn the war efforts. Look, I actually understand people wanting that to be done. At the same time, if he's trying to help negotiate peace, one of the worst things he can probably do is condemn Russia, because then nobody
exactly
listens to him in terms of negotiations, are they? So
I'll tell you one thing. Like, I have like a regular TV, and I watch Russian news. And number one Russian news, propaganda news, like if anybody from Russia, like, it's called Russia One, and they are talking about the peace the first time on the peace. And when they said the Ukrainian side asked Abramovich to get involved in this. And when we're saying that Abramovich was there, he's not in the meeting, but his people was there, and he was in Minsk. And people in Russian media were like, "What the hell is Roman Abramovich doing over there? Like, what is he has to do with anything?" If that channel is shocked why he's there, what? I just don't think people know the situation as deep as it is. Everybody I'm not blaming one side or whatever.
I do agree. I agree with you. I feel like none of us know the depths of it.
Exactly.
So therefore, it's almost keep your powder dry a little bit. I understand the want to see him come out and condemn it. If he wasn't involved in the peace talks, then that would make complete and utter sense to me. But I make you right in that, Alex. Look, I appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say. Thank you very much.
One quick about the next investors. That's what I want to say. Like, if Chelsea gets somebody, I wish it will be one person, not group of owners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And please don't be Elon Musk. I don't want to be called Rocket Boy. I don't want to be Rocket Call or Moon FC or Mars FC. Everybody else, but Elon Musk.
Rocket Boy. Listen, I wouldn't mind a bit of Elon Musk. I'm sure someone will find something wrong with him, but I wouldn't mind a bit of Elon Musk at my club. We're going to bring some more people out now. Daniel's coming on. Stay with us, bro. We're going to bring Daniel on. Jem's coming on with us as well. I think Johnny Boy Blues here. We've got a few others we'll bring into the mix as well. Viewers, hit that like button, hit that share button for us. Let's bring some more people out. Let's go. Gentlemen, Jem, how you doing, mate?
Big up, Jem.
Big up. How are we doing, guys? How are we? Ooh. And by the way, I wouldn't mind Elon Musk, the idea of having Tesla on our shirts and the possibility of stadiums.
Mars FC. Can you imagine Mars FC? Can you imagine Mars FC?
We can go to Mars. You even take us to Mars eventually, you know?
Yeah, new away ground on Mars. Can you imagine that trip? But yeah, Jem, I mean, first of all, I mean, tonight's game, you may want to talk about it. You might want to jump straight into the Roman stuff. Where's your head at?
I'll talk about the game quickly. I think it was a poor performance overall. I do think that we are still suffering with our forward line. We have been suffering for our forward line for a little while now. I do think certain individuals, for me personally, have to leave. Some even go on loan. And when I talk about the likes of someone like Callum Hudson-Odoi, who I actually think is, I'm losing patience with him, but it's just, you know, he's just not at it for me. Like, I think he needs a loan move. He hasn't had it, and I think a loan move would be great for him. Timo Werner, for me, you know, even though he kind of dug us out of the now at the end, he will probably be one of the first to go. Romelu Lukaku had 14 touches of the ball, 65 minutes in against Luton. Again, I know he beat his record last time of 7, which is great, don't get me wrong, but 100 million for a striker that's having 14 touches and it's 65 minutes in against a team that he should be bullying all day is just disgusting. Not good enough. Yeah, they dug us out. They got the goals. Don't get me wrong, but the overall flow, the way the team was set up, I could only probably name Sal Niguez as the only individual on the pitch for me that actually had a really good game. Personally, I thought from both halves, I thought he was very good. Jorginho was a waste. Like again, I didn't even know he was playing. To be honest, I didn't even know he was in the midfield. Yeah, look, we got it done. That's the most important thing. Some people on social media were saying, "Yeah, but Jem, you've got to understand. Like they've just heard the news about Roman. They didn't hear the news just recently because Thomas Tuchel and after said that we knew about this a little bit before you guys. So it wasn't a big shock to the players before even kicking balls.
I heard from somebody that worked at Chelsea hours before it came out. So yeah,
Exactly.
100% the player. If this guy knew, he's a very important guy at Chelsea. But if this guy knew, so that's what I'm saying about that one.
Yeah.
I hear you on that. I mean, the view is really mixed when it comes to this Roman Abramovich. You obviously heard the likes of Alan Shearer still condemning him. He hasn't come out and said what he said. Tahir here says stand with Ukraine, but as a Chelsea fan, incredibly sad for Roman. He loves Chelsea. Says, thank you, Terry, for your balanced coverage. But does it feel like a sad day for you, Jem? Do you feel sad as a Chelsea fan, knowing 100%. That the Roman era is over, essentially?
If you don't have an ounce of sadness in your body to this news, then you're not a Chelsea fan. that is pretty much it.
I want statue at Stamford Bridge.
Exactly. This guy is.
Did I wake you up, David?
About what he's done at Chelsea, and I've said this in a number of other groups. I said I think Roman Abramovich is the best owner since he's walked through the door at Chelsea Football Club up to this point in the Premier League. I don't think there was a better owner than him. I know some people were saying the Man City owners are very good financially. I hear that, but I'm talking about from an emotional aspect. How he built a connection, not only by just putting the money out of his pocket, but building the connection with the fans, with the people that were important to the club. And we're not going to replace, as much as I'd love to see us, someone to come in and replace that. I don't think we're going to have that. I don't think that's going to be the case. And it's a big miss to us. Again, I say it. I don't think he wanted to sell. He was forced to sell. And at the end of the day, it's for me going to be a big loss to this football club overall. And what can you say? It was upsetting, to be honest. Yeah, of course it is. It's upsetting.
I do get that. Do you know what's interesting? I was talking to my brother about this. He rang me. He ain't got a vested interest. He's an Orient fan, but he said he thinks Roman's the best owner in sort of the Prem era. So he was like, therefore, Chelsea, in his eyes, Chelsea will go backwards ever so slightly because how likely is it someone's going to come in to be as good or better? Like, and I was like, that's a fair point. And he wasn't even digging Chelsea out. He was like, if he's that good, replacing him and getting better is almost going to be impossible. Like, from your point of view, Dan, I've heard from everybody else at some other point today, like, what's the mood like for you sort of at Chelsea right now? Are things positive still? Is there any kind of fears about the future?
I think it's natural. I think anyone who isn't a little bit nervous or a little bit skeptical about what the future holds is lying a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I think we have every right to be a bit nervous, a bit apprehensive about what Chelsea looks like going forward. Obviously, for a lot of fans anyway, especially just slightly under my generation, but still, I would still include myself. For a lot of fans, all they've known and all we've known is Roman Abramovich. Do you know what I mean? So he's been a big part of a lot of Chelsea fans' lives in general. In terms of just the club and whatnot, it's one of them ones where, look, I think people saying that we can't feel bad because of the situation that's going on, I think that's a little bit wrong. People are trying to pick at people saying, oh, you can't feel sorry because of what's going on. Of course, we understand the situation, like the grave situation that's going on, and no one condones what's happening. We're all in support for Ukraine and whatnot. But we can still, both things can still be true. We can still feel sad that someone who's been a long part of our club is leaving the club and is really being forced to sell. And he feels like he has a duty as well that he needs to. And that only shows or is a testament to his character. Because I think as a businessman as well, he had every right to say that he's not going to sell Chelsea and he would rather take the sanctioning because he has more than enough money outside of Chelsea to say that he could survive and ride this wave and see what happens after the sanctions. And he didn't do that. So I think everything that Roman has done, the way that he's handled it, his approach, it's all great. And on top of that, the fact that he said he wants to get owners who care about the club and whatnot, That's the only problem, and that's the only question. You can get owners who say they will care for Chelsea, who say they'll do this, who say they'll do that for Chelsea. By the end of the day, we will only know that once they get into the role and build up a head of steam in that role. So, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And that's the one that my brother, who's an Orient fan, would talk about this till the cows come home. When Barry Earn and Eddie Earn sold Leighton Orient to the billionaire owner, the guy owned, was actually, I think, wealthier at the time than Roman. This guy was talking to them as fans, as in within 10 years, he wants to make them into a Champions League team. And they went out and signed like championship players and were paying people 20 grand a week to play in League One. And Orient fans were like, wow, look what we've got. 18 months later, they were falling out of the Football League altogether because he just after 6 months, he got bored and he stopped doing it. And essentially what he did, he sold all their first team players and loaned them all out. And he made them play with their youth team in the first team. Now, I'm not suggesting that's going to happen to Chelsea, but you never quite know. Matty, I know you've been very outspoken about this all today. What's on your mind, my friend?
I think, to be fair, I still stand by what I said this morning, which was that as much as we can feel a bit sad of sadness, I think, and it's perfectly natural. I mean, he's been in charge of the club for 19 years. As I said, I've been a Chelsea fan since 1998. We've got a lot. We've got a lot of times where we can think about, what's going to happen, and there is that level of uncertainty. But I think I laugh at all the rival comments before saying that, oh, well, Chelsea's finished and all this, that, and the other. You don't know who we're going to get because Roman loves the club. He's going to find somebody who's going to basically buy the club and somebody who's actually going to wants the same thing. There's going to be an interview process, of course, and how much they're going to put into the club. And I think that's always going to be the same. So my stance on the situation hasn't really changed. I think we're in good hands, really, of who we're going to get. In terms of the game today, I think we were a bit shaken as well by Luton. I think Luton played really well today. I think we can't ignore the fact that Luton did play very well today. Like Jem said, Lukaku did well with 14 touches. I mean, I was glad he turned up today, to be quite honest with you. It was nice for him to even just check his timesheet, really. So, I mean, that's great. And Sal Niguez even put in a performance today, which was great. But but to be fair, fair play to Luton. They gave us a good game, and and that's all we can. That's all I've got to say, really. But yeah.
I hear you on that. Craig Fig here says, fair play to Roman to write off the loan. Proves how much he loves the club. Saint fan here, hoping to continue our form and finish our run off here. Well done to Southampton tonight, beating West Ham 3-1, I believe, at home in the FA Cup. Winter Surfer, how are you, mate?
I'm all good. How's everyone?
Oh well,
yeah,
bro.
Good.
Yeah, good.
I feel like I'm at a funeral. Like
It is. It's the end of the era.
We can't be happy with that win anyway. Do you know what I mean? And after what we just heard,
I don't even care about the game at all.
I think the game mattered. The game was like such an afterthought after today's news. Like the game was like something that was mandatory.
And I gotta heal the gar shit on the Twitter.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I'm just fascinated of like 4 hours past or something like that since his announcement. That 1.5 billion pound loan he's not going to take or ask back just changes the game entirely now. It changes the owners, changes the sale price. It changes everything in my eyes. I mean, if you see it,
debt-free club. We are debt-free club.
I mean, it changes
you buy property
everything.
with no debt on it.
Yeah,
company.
Exactly. It changes everything. But today's game, it's the FA Cup. Just got to win it. Don't care if you play well. Really don't. Just got to win it and get through. Lukaku 14 touches. Only touch that mattered to me is in the back of the net, and he scored. So no criticism for Lukaku today at all. He scored. We all said if we did. I've heard it before, and some of the guys have said it here. I don't care how Lukaku performs as long as he scores. He scored today, so no Lukaku bashing needed. Werner played played okay. I can't credit him for that first goal for the assist. As much as people are trying to credit him.
You just said you just spoke about your own.
He had his head
fraud.
down.
You are.
Head down and kicked it.
Oh, come on. Don't do that. That's not fair, is it?
Okay. That's fine. That's
Jem,
fine.
do you think?
He played well.
You think Werner played good?
Can someone tell me what the because did anyone work out what the formation was after the subs in the second half? Because I was struggling to find out what it was. But
3-5-2.
Listen, yeah, I listen. It was a game that, like I said, the game was an afterthought today after the news, and we just needed to get through and the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Bring it on.
Do you know what with the Surfer? Going back to Roman quickly, right? I do think that I do think that because there was a lot of talks originally before he obviously announced about wanting the 4 billion. The 4 billion was the figure that was potentially what he was looking at. And when you think about the value of the club and obviously the debt, it would make sense as to why he would hold out. The fact that he's actually wiped that debt off tells me that the lawyers or whoever he's got on his side that's talking to him have told him he needs to sell up quick, or sell up quickly based upon the sanctions. I think this is going to happen very soon.
I think it is. I think it will happen quickly. And I'm not. I think Roman was always going to write this debt off. There's been 2 times in this process where I think Chelsea fans have got ahead of themselves. First of all was when it was revealed he had that insurance policy, and just my experience in finance, I'm like, I don't know if the insurance company can pay out if he's sanctioned, just because. Then you're not allowed to give money to somebody that's sanctioned. Equally, there was then the notion today where you heard the head of the Labour mob ask the Conservative mob, like, why hasn't Roman been sanctioned when others have? And when I listened to Boris's answer, it just sounded to me like we've done a deal with Roman. We're going to let him take care of a few bits of business first. And if he does the business quickly and sensibly, we'll let him go off into the night. If he doesn't, we'll sanction him. And I think that's also because I think they had to let him do that, because Chelsea isn't just important to you, the fans. It's important to the local community, the amount of people that work there. You just have to ensure its continuity, because
the club that's still been open throughout the club was still open throughout COVID. NHS was a hospital. Employees were using his hotel free for no money.
Yeah. What did I say? What did I say to you, Terry, about my super chat? That COVID opened the NHS during that time, and my missus was sent over there.
Dinosaur.
And she was sent there to London via redeployment, and throughout the pandemic, and he opened up the Stamford Bridge hotel for the NHS workers, and that was weeks before the announcement came out. So that just goes to show you that how much of a charitable person Roman is. But I think the one thing we can say is that it's also guilty by association. Again, we're guilty by association with a lot of things, and I think it's.
Go on, Dan.
Just very, very quickly, but I mean, look, at the end of the day, we can go one step further. It's not about like the gestures that Roman has shown. He didn't get let off because of the gestures that he is.
No, I'm not saying that.
Because I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm not saying you're saying that. This is just a general point now. I'm just saying that in general, it's not a gesture thing. What you need to remember about politics and about oligarchs and about billionaires, millionaires, is money talks and influence talks as well. And it's a huge part of the way our society is run. If you think that it's just government officials and politicians making decisions in our country, then bro, you've got so much more to learn.
And Dan, that's the point. Like, it's this thing of I don't necessarily think it's a witch hunt for Roman per se. I think it's a case of, right, we want to do X, Y. I keep seeing on socials, and I don't know what I forget the average man in the street. Some people are like, why does the UK government and the French government and the American government suddenly care more about this conflict than that conflict? It's like, well, because this conflict will clearly damage their interest more financially. Like, for me, it's less sinister than people make it out. It's just about money.
Yeah.
It's
all the
always
time
about money.
about money.
There's-
Otherwise, there are other countries in the world. If it was just about removing bad leaders, there are umpteen other countries in the world in my lifetime we'd have gone into and helped, but we don't. Why? What's the natural resource over there saying? There isn't any. Leave them then. You know what I mean? But if they could go there and make loads of money out of oil, gas, diamonds, gold, they'd be there. And and I'm not saying it's right. But that's just the way the world is. And I know it sounds like it's oh, hang on a minute. Go on, Norwich. Norwich 2-1. Norwich 2-1 with 15 minutes to go.
Wow.
Norwich has got to go back. They're not going to do it.
Can I
but
ask a question? Is it possible to have a buyback loss to Chelsea?
No.
No.
Well,
I wish.
look, I'm not going to lie to you. Look, I haven't pointed fun at Chelsea in any of this because I don't feel the circumstances right. I have to say, though, as a Man United fan, like I do hope your next owner's not as good. Like I do hope it goes wrong, and it's true. But it's
I know you will lie if you'll say that you want a
none
success
of you
for us.
five on here. None of you five on here want Man United to fix their problems and go back to being really good. Of course you don't. Like, why would you? You know, it's how it is.
And do you know what? I think what the funniest thing out of everything is that, look, at the end of the day, like, all good things come to an end. We just didn't know it was going to come to an end. Now, you look at the Sir Alex situation as well. Yes, Sir Alex was old and probably getting close to his retirement. But when he retired, I remember it shocked the world. It came out of nowhere. He literally said it in like January of that season, and you were still able to win the league that year, I think. Was it that year?
Terry.
So, like, I just think for Chelsea, I think anyway, the banter can come in and that's going to come in.
Yeah.
I think
Terry, you remember this, Terry, when he took over? How many? You probably maybe even said it yourself, Terry. He's only going to be here for a couple of years.
We all did.
I remember that.
I was a season ticket holder at Man United, and the irony is we used to sing a song, and I don't remember the words now. That you basically the song was alluding to enjoy it while it lasts, because eventually the KGB are going to take him away from you. And that hasn't happened that way around, but it's kind of happened in that way. A conflict has happened.
M5.
But yeah, everybody thought Roman he was going to be a fly-by-night merchant, and he wasn't. And you know, even under the Fergie years, we United fans still looked at Chelsea and went, "Yeah, you're not doing it right, though. No continuity, sack managers too much." Only for us to realize that having a club plan and not a manager's plan in the modern day era is a much better way of doing things. We were just lucky to have the greatest ever running our club. But yeah, listen, Roman's done a fantastic job, and he has done good things locally and everything else. Look, that's not me. I don't know his involvement. I don't know what he's done in Russia. I don't know about his relationship with Putin's. I'm not talking about things I don't know about, because it's just mad to talk about things you don't know about. All I can say is a bit like the Sheikh in Manchester. They have done a lot for those communities and a lot in those areas. So to just suddenly like cut that out and stop it from happening is dangerous for those local areas. You have to put a plan in place to protect those people who now rely upon those clubs to pay their bills. Because, you know, if you start ripping, if you did something to Chelsea that made Chelsea go bankrupt, who pays? Oh, Minamino, what's he doing? Oh, I thought he was going to score a mad goal. Who pays the mortgages and the bills of all those people that lose their jobs? Like, taking it to its nth degree. Oh, yeah, let's crash and burn the club. It's like
the guy with the bad haircut. What's his name?
Boris.
Island boy. I'm an island boy.
The irony. Our Prime Minister's got a Russian name. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Boris. It's what it is. But yeah, it's going to be a mad new world. I'm going to take a couple more calls quickly just before the end of the stream. We switch the screen round to here. Ziad is here. What are you saying, Z?
Yeah, evening all. Kind of a disappointing evening, really, because I forgot we were even playing tonight because of the news. I kind of knew the news was coming, but even though it was so fast, the last few days we've heard the coming around, or he might sell. He's putting up into the other trustees to look after it for now, and then all of a sudden he comes out with a statement saying, yeah, he will sell, and he's looking for new buyer as soon as possible. It's disappointing. As long as I'm been alive, it's all been Roman Abramovich, and we've been so successful under him. He's built Chelsea from the bottom to the right to the top, and he's the reason we've got one of the best academies, one of the best women's team, best facilities, champions of Europe, champions of the world, great squad, great manager, and you can hit at him all you want when you say sacking all the managers so quickly and whatnot. But at the end of the day, he always has the club's interest at heart, and that's why the fans really loved him and was always backing him. So it is sad times right now. And I know rival fans would love to run with the narrative of, oh, that's it, Chelsea are finished. That's it. There's nothing we can do. But at the end of the day, in terms of spending money, in terms of buying new players and new signings, I think we can still be able to do that. The funds are still there, and we've really been working on our own in a little bit. If I'm not wrong, in terms of we will only buy once we've sold. Don't like to make a loss. So we've seen saw it last season in terms of we spent 100 million on Lukaku, yet we were still on profit and we didn't really make a loss. So Roman Abramovich hasn't been as influential in terms of money as he was at the start of his reign, of course. But so that's why I feel like we'll be okay going into the future. But it just in terms of who will come over and take over the club, will it be someone that is like Liverpool, like Arsenal, like United, don't care about the club, just want the business and don't stay in the country and have zero interest, or will it someone that wants to continue taking Chelsea to the top and build off what Roman has done, build off what he's achieved as an owner? And I think that's all we can hope for as Chelsea fans. Hopefully, someone takes one step that Roman's taken and can continue to like sky's the limit, instead of thinking, all right, as long as I'm making money, I don't care how the club performs. So that's what, as a Chelsea fan.
I think
yeah.
Sorry, Terry. Sorry, Terry. Go on.
I'll just jump through a few more callers in here. And Mr. Anthony's here. What are you saying, mate?
Morning, Terry. To be honest, I wasn't watching the game as intently because I was a bit sad about the news that Roman is going off. This wasn't the way I hoped it would end, because I believe, as all Chelsea fans, we didn't want it to end this way. But if we go out of business, like this is hypothetical to be honest, if everything ended tomorrow, I could look back and say that I was alive during what he has done for us. And I am actually officially calling for a statue in front of Chelsea for this man, because he is the best thing that has ever happened to us, and nobody can deny that.
In our history. That's what he's
absolutely right, absolutely right. And for me, it's sad to see this.
Oh, we lost you there. Oh, we lost him. We lost Mr. Anthony there. Sorry about that. Yeah, listen, I get what he's saying there. He is the most important person in Chelsea's history. There's no doubt, because he's given you history, and without being disrespectful, he's made you one of the biggest teams on the planet, a powerhouse, and it's just going to be interesting now to see who, as you say, who comes in and, as Ziad said, how they run the club.
I hope it's not that Swiss Army guy.
I think it ain't Conor McGregor.
86
McGregor could be on his way in as well.
Nah, man. We'll be back up within a week.
Khabib again.
Yeah. Hey, in fairness, I'll say this about Conor McGregor. Love or loathe him as a fighter. He started Proper 12. You know, he sold his shares in Proper 12 last year for 700 million euros.
I think we kind of pushed him out.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Doesn't matter.
The Mexican guys.
No. A bigger company came in and wanted to buy him out, and he cashed in. He still owns like 15% of the company with founders shares, and now he doesn't do any of the work. He's basically just a poster boy now. It's smart.
I think if.
Oh my God! Liverpool nearly equalized. Norwich nearly equalized there. They nearly equalized.
I think the Corona people bought it. Mexican Corona company bought him. But McGregor's property.
Yeah, like a bigger company.
Yeah, big.
Because of how many sales they were doing. My point is, he doesn't have enough money by himself to buy Chelsea, by the way. But I'm sure he knows a few billionaires. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Mr. Anthony says, "Sorry, boys, I got a call from work. It's a sad time for me." Yeah, I hear you on that one. I do. But we are at the end of the stream. Sorry to everyone else that's backstage. We are at the end of the stream because I've got to go live at the end of the Liverpool game as well. It's a mad night for me tonight. It might be my 6th stream of the day.
Wow. Commitment.
I know. Throat is stripped.
Commitment, man.
Commitment. Mate. Do you know what I mean? I've got bills to pay.
I see.
Hairline to look after. In the gym every day, getting the guns ready for the summer. Do you know what I mean?
Just waiting for that 700 million euro buyout of the terrace.
Yeah, I might buy Chelsea with my super chat money. We'll see. If I owned them, I'd run you into the ground. To be honest. Oh, what a shame. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Edward Mendy sold the next day or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Ty Havertz gone to Old Trafford.
United on a free.
James for 10 million.
Absolutely. You can buy all our trash play. Like, honestly, it'd be great.
Yeah,
100
McTominay,
million
65
pound
million.
McFred.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, McFred is a due over 200 mil.
Yeah.
Boys, I appreciate you all coming on. Thank you very much indeed. Take care, everyone. Hit the like and share button.